Wait. Stop everything you're doing right now, because what I'm about to tell you is going to blow your mind. The CEO of Honda just dropped a bombshell announcement that's sending shockwaves through the entire car industry. And if you own a car or you're thinking about buying one, this news is going to change everything you thought you knew about the future of driving. I'm talking about Toshihiro Maib, the big boss at Honda, who just stood up in front of reporters and basically said, you know what? Forget everything we told you about electric cars. We're going all in on something completely different. And folks, this isn't just some small change in strategy. This is Honda completely flipping the script on their entire future. So grab your coffee, settle in, because I'm about to break down exactly what Honda CEO just announced, why this changes everything, and what this means for you and your wallet. Trust me, by the end of this video, you're going to see the car industry in a completely different way. Let me paint you a picture of what just happened. Imagine you're at a restaurant and you've been telling everyone for years that you're going to serve only salads. You've invested millions of dollars in salad equipment, hired salad chefs, and promised your customers that salads are the future. Then one day, you walk into the dining room and announce, actually, we're going back to making burgers because that's what people really want. That's essentially what Honda just did. But instead of salads and burgers, we're talking about electric cars and hybrid engines. Here's the thing that's got everyone talking. Just a few months ago, Honda was all about electric vehicles. They had big plans, huge investments, and they were telling everyone that by 2030, 30% of all their cars would be fully electric. They were spending around $70 billion to make this electric dream come true. But then something happened that nobody saw coming. Toshihiro Maib, Honda's CEO, looked at the numbers and realized something that a lot of other car companies are starting to figure out too. People aren't buying electric cars as fast as everyone thought they would. It's like when everyone predicted that by now we'd all be flying around in personal helicopters. But here we are, still stuck in traffic on regular roads. So what did Maib do? He made a decision that took serious guts. He stood up and said, we're changing course. Instead of pouring all that money into electric cars, Honda is now focusing on something they believe is much smarter, hybrid engines. And not just any hybrid engines, but what they're calling the most efficient hybrid engines the world has ever seen. Now, let me explain what makes this so revolutionary. You know how a regular car just uses gasoline and an electric car just uses electricity? Well, a hybrid is like having the best of both worlds. It's got a gasoline engine and an electric motor working together like the perfect team. When you're driving slowly or stuck in traffic, the electric part kicks in, and you're basically driving on pure electricity. But when you need power to get on the highway or climb a hill, the gasoline engine jumps in to help out. But here's where Honda's new plan gets really exciting. They're not just making regular hybrids. They're creating what they call next-generation hybrid technology that's going to be smaller, lighter, and way more efficient than anything we've seen before. Think of it like upgrading from an old flip phone to the latest smartphone. It might look similar on the outside, but the technology inside is completely different. Maib explained that Honda's new hybrid system is going to achieve something pretty incredible. They're aiming for the highest combustion efficiency ever seen in both their smaller 1.5-liter engines and their bigger 2.0-liter engines. In simple terms, that means these engines are going to squeeze every drop of power out of every drop of gasoline, while also using electric power when it makes the most sense. But here's the part that really shows you how dramatic this shift is. Remember how Honda was planning to sell 2 million electric cars by 2027? Well, they just slashed that number down to somewhere between 700,000 and 750,000. That's like going from planning to sell 100 pizzas at your restaurant to deciding you'll only sell 35. It's a massive change in direction. And the money part of the story is just as shocking. Honda was originally planning to spend about $70 billion on electrification and software development through 2030. But now, they've cut that down to about $48 billion. That's a reduction of around $21 billion. To put that in perspective, that's enough money to buy several major sports teams or build dozens of hospitals. So why is Honda doing this? Why are they walking away from electric cars when everyone has been saying that electric is the future? Well, MIBE gave some pretty straightforward reasons, and when you think about them, they actually make a lot of sense. First, people just aren't buying electric cars as fast as everyone predicted. It's like when stores stock up on a hot new toy for Christmas, but then kids end up wanting something completely different. The demand just isn't there yet. MIBE said that EV adoption has been pushed back 5 to 6 years from what they originally expected. Second, there are some practical problems with electric cars that haven't been solved yet. Charging stations are still not everywhere, especially if you live in smaller towns or rural areas. Plus, electric cars are still pretty expensive for most families. A lot of people want to do the right thing for the environment, but they also need a car that fits their budget and their lifestyle. Third, and this is really smart thinking from Honda, MIBE realized that hybrid technology has gotten so good that it can give you most of the benefits of electric cars without the headaches. Modern hybrids get amazing gas mileage. They're better for the environment than regular gas cars, but you don't have to worry about finding charging stations or waiting hours for your car to charge up. But here's where this story gets even more interesting. Honda isn't just scaling back their electric plans. They're also making some tough decisions about their current electric vehicles. They just announced that they're ending production of the Acura ZDX, which is an electric SUV they were making with General Motors. This shows you just how serious they are about changing direction. Now, some people might look at this and think Honda is giving up on the future, but I think that's completely wrong. What Honda is actually doing is being realistic about what people want and need right now, while also preparing for the future in a smarter way. Think about it like this. If you're planning a road trip and you realize that half the gas stations along your route are closed, do you keep driving and hope for the best, or do you change your route to make sure you can actually get where you're going? Honda looked at the electric car landscape and realized that the gas stations, charging infrastructure, just aren't ready yet for most people. So instead of forcing people to take a route that isn't ready yet, Honda is offering a better path that works right now. Their new hybrid engines are going to give you incredible fuel efficiency, lower emissions, and all the reliability that Honda is famous for, without requiring you to completely change how you think about car ownership. And here's something really cool about Honda's new hybrid technology that they're calling Honda S Plus Shift. This isn't just a regular hybrid system. It's designed to be smarter about when to use electricity and when to use gasoline. The system will actually learn your driving habits and optimize itself to give you the best performance and efficiency based on how you actually drive. For example, if you mostly drive short distances around town, the system will favor electric mode to keep your emissions low and your fuel costs down. But if you're someone who takes long road trips, it will balance both power sources to make sure you get great mileage without sacrificing performance. It's like having a personal driving coach built right into your engine. But let's talk about what this means for you as a car buyer. If you've been on the fence about buying an electric car because of range anxiety or charging concerns, Honda's new hybrid technology might be exactly what you've been waiting for. You'll get most of the environmental benefits of electric driving, plus amazing fuel economy, but without having to completely change your lifestyle. And if you're someone who's been waiting for electric cars to become more affordable and practical, well, Honda's decision suggests that wait might be longer than we all thought. But the good news is that hybrid technology has become so advanced that you're not really missing out on much while you wait. Here's another angle to consider. Honda's move might actually be brilliant for the environment too. Sure, fully electric cars produce zero direct emissions, but if people aren't buying them, then they're not helping the environment at all. But if Honda can sell millions of super efficient hybrid cars that people actually want to buy, the total environmental impact could be much greater than selling a smaller number of electric cars. It's like the difference between convincing 10 people to become vegetarians versus convincing 1,000 people to eat meat just one day less per week. Sometimes the bigger impact comes from getting more people to make a smaller change rather than getting fewer people to make a big change. The timing of Honda's announcement is also really interesting when you look at what's happening in the broader car industry. Other major automakers are also starting to pump the brakes on their electric vehicle plans. Ford has delayed some of their electric truck plans, General Motors has pushed back some of their electric targets, and even some European companies are reconsidering their all-electric timelines. This suggests that Honda isn't just making a random decision. They're reading the market correctly and responding to real consumer behavior rather than just following the hype. Sometimes being a leader means being brave enough to change course when you see that the current path isn't working for your customers. Now, let's talk about what this means for the car industry as a whole. Honda's announcement is likely to influence other automakers to take a harder look at their own electric vehicle strategies. If one of the world's most respected car companies is scaling back on EVs and doubling down on hybrids, other companies are probably having similar conversations in their boardrooms right now. This could actually lead to some really exciting innovation in hybrid technology across the entire industry. When companies compete to build better hybrids instead of just rushing to build electric cars, consumers win because they get more choices and better technology. For Honda specifically, this strategy makes a lot of sense when you consider their reputation. Honda has always been known for building practical, reliable, efficient cars that regular people can afford and depend on. Their new hybrid strategy fits perfectly with that brand identity. They're not trying to be the flashiest or the most cutting edge. They're trying to be the most useful. And let's be honest, Honda has a pretty good track record with hybrid technology. They've been making hybrid cars for over 2 decades, starting with the original Insight back in 1999. They know how to make hybrids that actually work well and last a long time. So when they say they're going to make the world's most efficient hybrids, they've got the experience to back up that claim. But what about the future? Does this mean Honda is completely giving up on electric cars? Not exactly. MIB made it clear that they're not abandoning electric vehicles entirely. Instead, they're taking what he called a realistic approach. They're going to continue developing electric technology, but they're not going to rush products to market before consumers are ready for them. This approach actually shows a lot of wisdom. Instead of burning through billions of dollars trying to convince people to buy electric cars they don't want yet, Honda is going to use this time to perfect their electric technology while meeting customers where they are today with better hybrid options. Think of it like a chef who realizes that customers aren't ready for his most adventurous dishes yet. So he focuses on perfecting his more popular items while slowly introducing people to new flavors. Eventually, when customers' tastes evolve, he'll be ready with amazing new dishes that people will actually want to eat. The financial implications of Honda's decision are also worth considering. By reducing their electric vehicle investments by $21 billion, they're freeing up resources to invest in areas where they can get better returns right now. This could mean more research and development for their hybrid technology, better manufacturing efficiency, or even returning more money to shareholders. From an investor's perspective, Honda's decision shows disciplined management. They're not just following trends or making decisions based on what sounds good in press releases. They're making hard choices based on real market data and consumer behavior. That kind of rational decision-making often leads to better long-term results for the company and its shareholders. Here's something else to consider. Honda's hybrid strategy could actually help accelerate the eventual transition to electric vehicles. By making hybrids that are incredibly efficient and environmentally friendly, they're getting people comfortable with electric driving without the anxiety. When someone drives a hybrid that runs on electric power most of the time, the jump to a full electric car becomes much less scary. It's like learning to swim in the shallow end before jumping into the deep end. Honda's hybrids could be the shallow end that helps people get comfortable with electric driving before they eventually move to full electric vehicles. The global implications of Honda's decision are also significant. Honda is a major player in markets all around the world, and their decision to focus on hybrids instead of rushing into electric vehicles could influence policy discussions in different countries. If one of the world's leading automakers is saying that the infrastructure isn't ready for mass electric vehicle adoption, maybe governments need to think more carefully about their electric vehicle mandates and incentives. So what does all of this mean for you as a consumer? Well, if you're in the market for a new car in the next few years, you're probably going to have access to some incredibly advanced hybrid technology from Honda. These new hybrids are going to offer you the efficiency and environmental benefits you want with the convenience and reliability you need. If you've been holding off on buying a new car because you weren't sure whether to go electric or stick with gasoline, Honda's new hybrid technology might be the perfect middle ground. You will get most of the benefits of electric driving with none of the infrastructure concerns. And if you're someone who's passionate about environmental issues, don't worry. Honda's hybrids are going to be significantly better for the environment than traditional gasoline cars. While they might not be quite as clean as fully electric vehicles, they'll still represent a major improvement over what most people are driving today. Looking ahead, Honda's strategy also positions them well for whatever comes next. As battery technology improves and charging infrastructure expands, they can gradually shift their hybrid technology toward more electric operation. Eventually, when the market is truly ready, they can flip a switch and offer fully electric versions of their most popular hybrid models. This flexible approach means that Honda customers won't be left behind if their preferences change, and Honda won't be stuck with obsolete technology if the market shifts faster than expected. It's like having a Swiss Army knife instead of a specialized tool. You're prepared for more situations. The announcement from Honda's CEO represents more than just a business decision. It's a reality check for the entire automotive industry. It's a reminder that successful companies need to listen to their customers rather than just following the latest trends or trying to meet arbitrary environmental targets. Honda's decision shows that being environmentally responsible doesn't necessarily mean rushing headfirst into the newest technology. Sometimes the most responsible approach is to improve the technology we already have while gradually preparing for the next big leap. As we wrap up this deep dive into Honda's Bombshell announcement, it's clear that this decision is going to ripple through the entire automotive industry. Other automakers are probably looking at Honda's analysis and wondering if they need to adjust their own strategies. Consumers are going to have more hybrid options to choose from, and the environment will benefit from millions of more efficient vehicles on the road, even if they're not all fully electric. Honda CEO Toshiro Mibe didn't just announce a change in business strategy. He started a conversation about what the future of transportation should really look like. Instead of forcing a future that consumers aren't ready for, he's offering a path that meets people where they are today while still moving toward a cleaner, more efficient tomorrow. This is exactly the kind of realistic, customer-focused thinking that has made Honda one of the most trusted names in the automotive industry for decades. They're not trying to win awards for being the most futuristic company. They're trying to build cars that real people actually want to buy and drive. If you found this breakdown of Honda's game-changing announcement as fascinating as I did, make sure to hit that like button right now. This kind of industry-shaking news doesn't come around very often. And your likes help me know that you want more deep dives into stories that are actually going to affect your life and your wallet. And here's the thing. The automotive industry is changing faster than ever before, and there are more bombshell announcements coming from other major automakers in the weeks ahead. You definitely don't want to miss out on this kind of insider analysis that cuts through the marketing fluff and gives you the real story about what these changes mean for you. So do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button right now, and make sure to ring the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when I break down the next major automotive story. Trust me, if you're interested in cars, technology, or just understanding how major business decisions affect your everyday life, you're going to want to be subscribed to this channel. Share this video with anyone you know who's thinking about buying a new car, anyone who's been confused about electric vehicles versus hybrids, or anyone who just loves understanding how big companies make major strategic decisions. This is the kind of information that can literally save people thousands of dollars and help them make smarter choices about one of the biggest purchases they'll ever make. I'll see you in the next video where we'll be diving even deeper into what other automakers are doing in response to Honda's announcement, and I'll be breaking down exactly which Honda hybrid models you should be watching for in the coming years. Until then, keep driving smart, and I'll catch you soon.